Going to go to business now. Brian's with us. As promised, we're going to start with that meatpacking scandal in Brazil, a story that just seems to be getting worse and worse for the industry there, really, Brian.
Yeah, that's right, Stuart. We're now adding Hong Kong, Canada, Mexico, and Switzerland to the list of countries with partial or full bans on Brazilian meat. Now at issue, as we said, a police investigation codenamed Weak Flesh, accusing 21 Brazilian meatpacking companies of bribing inspectors for years to allow tainted or rotted meat to market. Brazil is doing everything it can to limit the fallout. Late Tuesday, the country's agriculture minister visited one of the plants implicated in the scandal.
It's only natural that countries who have been informed that they received products under investigation would want more information. And we're ready to deliver that information. From the moment we deliver this information, we hope that they can accept it and reopen their markets.
Latest on the meat scandal there. Now, clearly we're in uncertain times when it comes to free trade, but it looks like two of the world's major economies are taking steps to kind of bring down their trade barriers, doesn't it?
Yeah, the EU and Japan have agreed to try and wrap up a free trade deal by the end of the year. The development amid a rise of protectionism from one of their largest trading partners, the United States. Together, the EU and Japan account for more than 1/3 of the global economy. They're hoping their clout is enough to counterbalance the US. Here's Will Hildebrandt with more.
The European Union and Japan stand side by side in their commitment to free trade.
This agreement is necessary. It is necessary because we believe in free, fair and rules-based trade. I'm very confident this will pave the way for a swift agreement this year.
The EU has insisted that Japan remove tariffs on European food products. In exchange, the bloc is prepared to phase out a 10% tariff on Japanese autos. And while there is a sense of momentum to wrap up 4 years of trade talks, the impetus has grown due to uncertain times. Over the weekend, the G20 finance ministers broke a decade-long tradition of endorsing free trade and rejecting protectionism in their final communiqué. That change coming at the behest of U.S. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin, an outcome some called surreal.
The promise we have given each other in the past is now being taken away by the new U.S. administration, and I'm quite concerned that we need to fight harder for Europe to keep up free trade.
In fact, EU-Japan trade talks were on the verge of collapse until Donald Trump was elected U.S. president. Now Brussels and Tokyo hope a free trade deal could counterbalance any protectionist policies out of Washington.
Will Hildebrandt there. Let's have a look at the markets then. What's happening, Brian?
Well, it was a dark day yesterday on Wall Street with U.S. shares taking their biggest losses in 5 months. And today, Asian indexes appear to be following that lead, currently on track for their worst day in weeks. The Nikkei closing down over 2% on news of a new North Korean missile test. The Kospi in South Korea down around 0.5%. Hong Kong's Hang Seng down nearly 1.5%, and the Shanghai Composite around 0.5%. Let's take a look at some more of today's business headlines. And despite those losses on the markets, Japan has posted its fastest export growth in over a year. Exports for February were up 11.3% from the previous year. That beat estimates of around a 10.5% jump. It's the third straight month of export increases, marking what many consider a rise in global demand. And Uber is promising to take action to keep its drivers happier. The ride-sharing service has admitted some of its policies are stacked against drivers, some of whom have been banned from the service for a small number of complaints. Uber says drivers will have better options to push back against such complaints and refund requests. An electronics giant LG is planning to launch a mobile payment system in its home country of South Korea. The move is intended to help it keep up with rivals Samsung and Apple, both of which already have such systems. Users on the LG system will be able to pay credit card readers using a magnetic signal from the phone.
Thank you, Brian. That's Brian Quinn there with Business View here on France 24. Right after the break.